cold night at the foot of the Rockies. EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Denver Broncos.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The first-round pick from April's draft. And now he got away from that first tackler. No idea, but he did, and it winds up with positive yardage.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
We really didn't have any doubt that he was going to be one of the top-rated rookies coming into the league, especially as a runner. And he's given us no reason to change our minds. That's a big-time run, and the production that he showed us in college is translating very well into the National Football League.
And I think the ball's out. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. The Broncos in trouble to start play, 6-8 on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
And he's got his man on the out route. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
From the 31, here's 2nd down and 5. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Now, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he will have a Broncos first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1. Nix to the air. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Harvey. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
To throw is Nix. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on third down. Now it's Nix. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Dawson Knox, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Looks good on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, and there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Looking to put a drive together.
11 12.
They'll start the drive here with Pacheco. We'll get this to about the 38. These two teams met in Kansas City earlier this season with the Chiefs winning that ball game. So they're looking for the series sweep here in Denver. From the 38 now, here's second down and 7.
Here we go.
Now it's Burrow. He'll drop this off to Pacheco. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
And this is an offense that's number 1 in the NFL in rushing, and you know that has to be the focus of any game plan defensively. But they can throw it, too, as evidence right there. And they move the chains here on this opening drive.
Gun. 11.
On first and 10, here's Pacheco. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Randy, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Now he's going to step up and run. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Credit good coverage there in the pass breakup to Pat Surtain. When you look at this Bronco defense, they are the 22nd ranked unit against the run in the NFL.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game because they're facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means it's going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Broncos force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right, it felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. That boy showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
They'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he stopped immediately there. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down. To throw, here's Nix. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Dawson Knox with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Broncos lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Lutz with the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And that is over the back line of the end zone. And it's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Here we go. Right 80.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Gun. Stop. 11. Stop.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
On one, ready?
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 3.
11. Right 80. Legs up.
The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's 2nd and 3.
Here we go. Big first shot.
They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Here we go.
They'll try for the first with Pacheco. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle.
Here we go.
They'll run for it with Pacheco. And it was a stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
It's a gain of 3.
1-1, ready?
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
180. Let him cut.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. And he's got this down to the 35. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit. And another 1st down.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the couch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the 1st down.
Running left to give to Pacheco. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Mighty. 11 mighty. Here we go.
They'll run. It's Brashard Smith. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I really like what he did there because he took his practice work and converted it to game action because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
11, big 13. Big 13.
Now it's Burrow. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Nick Bonito. And the Broncos are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances. Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
This quick pass complete to Sutton. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's Nix. Now he'll tuck this and run. Works right side into the hands of the tight end Knox. 2 touchdowns for him already in this first half. This one good for a 1st down.
Broncos, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Throwing Nix. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around. A 1st down as well.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And the Broncos are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
They'll try and run for first and goal. They'll manage to break a tackle and get this forward for a couple. It'll be second down.
Pickup of 2 brings up second and goal.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And this time he is in. A great effort there with his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos take a 3-touchdown lead. What's good on the extra point. And that makes the score 21-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone. So this ball will come out to the 30 now. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Second and 10.
Here we go.
Here's Burrow. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And a fine chase on the right side complete. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. A gain of 15 yards. First down, Chiefs.
Here we go.
Pacheco gets it up the gut. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 52 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Burrow looking to pass. Open man is the tight end, Noah Gray. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Pacheco gets it, tries the left side. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2 yards left on second down from the 9. Here's Pacheco once again. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a first and goal.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, second and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Now Burrow. Now he's going to step up and run. This is caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback, running back, usually quarterback. A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration because the way the game is played in the NFL now.
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Rashard Smith as the first half is winding down. And the Chiefs are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point by Butker is on target. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7.
Harrison Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. Well, they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
At the 28-yard line.
And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It'll be the Chiefs football to begin quarter number 3, and they trail here as we are back underway now on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense has thrown at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive. But get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
Now a 2nd and 10.
12. Right, Eddie.
Burrow will throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. And a ball going to be intercepted yet again. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. The Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Again, it's Harvey. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to 31.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Now they'll change things up. Working out of the gun is Nix. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's not locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And he'll be ready fell short of a first down as he stopped again right at the line of scrimmage. Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 48. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They'll go for it. Here's Nix. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Here we go. 180.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Now he's going to step up and run. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Riley Moss. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where, in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
It seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
They'll try to run this one in. He is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked them back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available, and they stuffed the play right there in the middle of the field.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Dawson Knox from 3 yards out. And the Broncos use the short field to get in for 6. Lutz with the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line to the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Xavier Worthy, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Chiefs are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Looking to put a drive together. Throwing to start the drive. Nix. Got a man open. It's Sutton. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Cortland Sutton, 78 yards. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the... And oh, my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. The Broncos send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And fights through one man. And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there.
They're on 46-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
2nd and 10 now. Third quarter action in Denver.
Here we go. Club. Ready?
From the shotgun, they run with Smith. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From midfield now, Burrow. He's going to air one out. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
11 empty.
They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
On the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Nix to the air. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Harvey. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Broncos on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And that is incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
They'll send this away to the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. And this will pin them nicely inside the 20 as it's out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Now he's going to throw deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get hot.
I'm one, ready?
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
He'll drop to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That third down conversion good for 23. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal.
Here we go.
And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. They'll set up the screen to Pacheco. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
A 7-yard pickup.
Now it's Burrow. He's going to let this one go deep. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A big play there for KC. And even 40 yards.
First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
On 2, ready?
So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10.
Gun. 11, stop.
A first down carry for Smith. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Rashard Smith with his second touchdown of the night. And the Chiefs have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. Butker on for the PAT. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
Makes the score Broncos 35, Chiefs 21.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
We saw him shed a nice tackle on that one. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on first and 10. Nick's going to give to Harvey. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's second and 4. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the play clock? Right now, they're executing really well.
And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a third and 2 more.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them. trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 73 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. From the 5, 2nd and 4.
Kill. Hold on a second. Hey.
They'll try and run some clock here, so keep it on the ground. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
Now 3rd and 5.
To throw is Nix. Now he'll tuck this and run. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. Now Lutz for the field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. The kick by Lutz is good. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
11. Here we go.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Looks like they're going to keep throwing to the bitter end. This one's long since over, but give them credit. They're going to go down fighting. That one, incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow.
That's to the right side, hauled in by Royals.
And they'll get him down to about the 37, well short of the 1st. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he's got it. And he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. And I don't know that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 91 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game.
Hold on a second.